Monaco. Formula 2 has been welcomed back to this most famous of race locations, and the excitement in the air is building as we count down to the start of today's race. The Circuit de Monaco is, for all practical purposes, pretty much unchanged since its 1929 introduction. It's strange to consider that this 2.1-mile lap will take the drivers here around almost an entire country. 19 corners, but not that many opportunities for overtaking. Instead, this is a track that rewards technical skill. In the commentary box for the big race today, I'm Alex Jakes, and joining me once again, it's Davide Valsecchi. Davide, as well as being the 2012 GP2 champion, you also have experience as a test driver in F1. What would you say are the biggest differences for people fresh to the world of F2?
Well, Alex, I think it's an exciting time in Formula 2 right now. For spectators, a lot of excitement comes from all the drivers being in the same car. That puts the emphasis on driver skills, meaning lots of overtakes, which means exciting race for us.
As we're now moments away from the off, let's take a look at the grid order in which they'll start today's race. A fantastic effort from Sergio Sette Camara yesterday puts him on pole position. And starting alongside in P2 is Alexander Albon. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have for Kazumi, Norris, George Russell, and Markelov, De Vries, Cuoco, Latifi, Maximilian Gunter, Giotto, Aitken, Louis Delatraz, and Meri, Makino, Galeo, Maney, and Dorian Boccolacci. Kari and Alessio Lorandi completes the grid. And with lights out just moments away, it's time to go down to the track.
Yo guys, what is up? I'm Excavation and welcome back to the Nyck De Vries career mode. This is episode 4, Monaco. What a weekend.
Don't try anything silly into one. It's going to be
qualified
Just do your best to stay out of trouble.
P7? Yeah, P7 in the split qualifying they have. And I will just say one thing quick. The second race, there will not be the glitch around the Raskas area and back and stuff. So there's 5 lights and away we go for this feature race. And not the worst start. Certainly not our worst start. Alongside Fuoco into turn 1. And we stay up in P7, and Latifi actually gets past Fuoco there. So now climbing up the hill, right on the back of George Russell. We're just looking to get some good points here. At a track that I really do enjoy this track. It's one of my favourite tracks on the calendar for many reasons. It's such a good track to drive, and squirming our way around, we actually make a lovely little overtake on George Russell into Mirabeau. Now into Portier.
Okay, that's a good start.
Coming through the tunnel now, and it's a good start, you know. Made a place on the opening lap of Monaco, is not something everybody can say around this track. Down into the Nouvelle chicane. A little bit of a corner cut there. We did come in a bit hot, but at the end of the day, we haven't gained an advantage, to say the least. And this is what I'm on about, just little glitches here that I try to keep it out as much as I can in the first race, and in the second race it's not there, so it's fine. We can watch all of this. But into Raskas now, a little bit of oversteer. That was really the common theme of not just this race, just my entire career mode at the moment. Just a bit of oversteer everywhere. But yeah, so coming on to lap 2 now, P6. It's a lovely start for us, but Markelov was just losing touch with him. And then we just need to catch back up after a really good weekend in Spain, where we got a second place and a first place, I believe, or was it third and first? Second and first. We go purple in the middle sector here behind Markelov. That helped us catch back up to that front pack, and going nicely there. Not quick enough for a fastest lap, but a good lap, and we're kind of on Markelov's tail here. We're looking forwards rather than backwards, which is again a good thing. We haven't had anything from Russell yet. He hasn't shown any signs of attack. I did struggle to keep with them. I don't know what setups they were running. I was running a very high downforce setup, as much as you can get. I think I was running 10-11 wings. I don't think everybody else was. They must have been running about 7, 8 or something like that, because they just seemed to be so much quicker. And also my exits out of Portier were shocking, so it kind of negated any form of overtake coming into the Nouvelle chicane.
Pitting this lap then, coming to the pits at the end of this lap.
And I decided I wasn't getting anywhere. I'd catch up by the end of the lap and then just lose out through the rest of the lap. So we're going to pit on lap 5 here. We were supposed to pit on lap 7, so that is a 2-lap undercut, or 3 to certain cars that are going to pit on lap 8. Nobody's going to pit on lap 6, so that's a 2-lap undercut around Monaco. So obviously the AI still in Formula 1 don't really react to you. So a 5.9 second pit stop.
Pit strategy
they don't really react to the
see these
undercut,
tyres through to the end now.
which is something I would like to see added. But yeah, so obviously P20, so go purple in the middle sector on the out lap. Obviously we're not going to get fastest lap because it was the out lap. We had to spend ages trundling down the pit lane. But we do cross the line with 2 purple sectors.
Ahead is 11.0 seconds.
So not bad, and we're just putting absolute foot to the floor, and we're actually making a few mistakes, and we didn't even go purple. We're 2 tenths down on our best time at the moment, which is fairly shocking. Okay, the crowd cheering us on there, and everybody's pitting, so this is crucial. So those 2 purple middle sectors on our out lap, we actually do go purple so much that we go fastest lap, and we come out behind Sergio Setecamera, but we have jumped Markelov, and by a fair distance as well. That is serious, and yellow flags behind us, so we've avoided that as well, and looking like the undercut was a good decision in the end. We go faster in the first sector than we've, and it's Markelov that's out of the race. It's Markelov's come out of the pits. I wonder if they've just failed to put the wheel on properly, something like that. He's pulled off at Mirabeau. Wow, interesting. Another bit of oversteer and teammates in the pits, so this is going to be the true representation as everybody finishes their pit stops. Where are we going to come out? Round the final corner.
Sean in the pits.
DRS open. We're going to come out at P3. So we've gone from P6 to P3. Obviously we jumped Markelov, who went, we've jumped Fakazumi, we've jumped somebody else in there as well. Wow. Serious job there. The undercut was worth it, and that's the one thing I'd like to see changed about this game. Undercuts are very good because the AI don't change their strategy accordingly. But nonetheless, we move on to now lap 9, and we are. And now we move on to lap 12, so not really much has happened. And obviously these guys have a lot fresher tyres than me, and it's just, I'm struggling to keep the tyres fresh, to keep the tyres in the window, and I struggled around Raskas a lot. I think that is Maney.
Catching the car ahead,
no, not Maney or McKean, one of the two. And Jeff kindly reminded me that these tyres do need to enter last the entire race, which is something that I didn't account for, but I assumed, well, Monaco, all the business is going to be done on the undercut, so I was fine with that. That was my decision, and I was happy. Coming round the final turn, coming around Mirabeau. So now on to lap 15. We are forming a bit of a trolley train. They are a lot quicker than us, but we're quick enough in the right places. We haven't had any real forms of them trying to overtake. Until maybe now, as we have almost have a huge tank slapper out of Portier. Will Fakazumi catch enough, and that's just the thing. Even with that shocking exit I got, it's not enough for him to catch up and overtake into the longest straight and into the heaviest braking zone. So I was never really worried at all, as long as I kept it out of a wall, but proving a bit more difficult than, easier said than done, I could say. But lap 16 seems still fairly comfortable. Like, again, we've had 2 massive errors that we've managed to keep out the wall, and not even a red line, not even a red arrow behind us. So I'm fairly happy with the way that this is going, and it's looking like a podium for us, you'd like to think. see what kind of exit we get out of Portier. A nice exit, so we should be unfazed. And now on to lap 17. And no threat opposed yet. We just see Sean Galeo's out of the session, and wow, interesting. Our teammates out of the session. He'll be starting very far back on this grid. Interesting, interesting, interesting. But
Sean's dropped out of the race.
coming now, we got a fairly good exit out of Portier for once. Well, I say for once, but yeah, it's not far from the truth. Into the Nouvelle chicane, and we kind of cut it a bit. They're right on our tail for Kazumi, because we do kind of let it ease off a bit, because I did feel bad because I did just cut the chicane, so I did ease off the power, and Fukazumi's all over the back of us through this entire final sector. But it is Monaco, and he's not close enough to do anything. And that should be all she wrote. Fukuzumi got in a bit of a battle with Makino, I believe, and that kind of just let us escape his clutches, and we cruised the last 2 laps. I think it was 19 it happened. They eventually catch fairly back up to where they were before, but no, a very good result, 3rd place, and it's all down to strategy, really.
Brilliant job, mate. That's a fantastic podium. Super driving, really strong pace. Very, very happy.
So another fantastic victory for Dams today.
That will stop, I
Tell
can
me,
promise you
Davide,
that.
what was the key to this success?
This race, this win, was about one thing and one thing only: consistency. Anyone can be quick for just 1 lap, but there's a difference between that and being quick every lap, over and over and over. If you can do that, if you can gain ground when your opponents make mistakes, but then not make mistakes on your own, you can just push and push.
So now jumping into the 2nd race, basically we're looking for the same result really. We're starting a place higher, but no pit stop for the undercut though, so it could be a bit interesting. But we get underway here, trying to block off Sergio Sette Camera from getting past. We actually touch him, but no, and we actually bang wheels with Okazumi there, but we stay ahead of Sette Camera and we hold up station nicely. This race is all about pushing, and that's exactly what we're going to do here. We're going to have a go on Fukuzumi. We're going to touch. It's not quite as clean as the one on George Russell with no contact. We're going to switch back to the inside. We're going to lunge. We're going to touch again, and we're finally going to get that place. And yellow flags. I don't know. It's not me, is it? No, Fukuzumi's still behind me. There seems to be something to do with Dorian Boccalacci. So safety car is out. Safety car is out, and that helps me a lot, because obviously we know that my saving tyres is not very good. So that's just a few extra laps. I don't have to worry about burning the tyres off. But so lap 3 here, safety car will come
let's
in.
get ready to go racing again. The safety car is in this lap. When the field accelerates, remember, there is no overtaking until the
Lando
green flags.
Norris, the
Safety
championship
car in
leader,
this lap.
is just in front, and can we get ahead of him? How crucial that will be, because at the end of the day, we're up into 4th in the championship. We are fighting for this championship, and yeah, we want a seat next year in Formula 1. We want to impress all the Formula 1 teams, especially McLaren, who me and Norris are both affiliated to, so one of us will most likely be getting a seat in 2019.
We're leading our teammate by 10.6 seconds.
Now climbing the hill, and he just shoots away into the distance. A little bit worried about that, and now Fukuzumi's down the inside of us. We leave a gap, but we close. We overtake him now. Sergio Sette Camera is having a go on Fakazumi. Will he make the move? I think he has made the move. What an overtake. And now moving on to lap 5. We go purple in the middle section. We've really pushed this lap to try and close the gap to Lando Norris. And it was not a good decision. We should have taken a more calculated approach because we have ruined the tyres, I can tell you that. We come around, will we get the fastest lap though off our potential championship rival Lando Norris? We do with a 1:23.485. But nonetheless, that was the start of the end for us as we zapped the life out of the tyres there. We took every little aim we could. We had nothing. We kept pushing with nothing, and it made the tyres worse and worse. And on lap 7 now, we have a bit of a tank slapper at to back. No, not to back. Sorry.
You're in the top 10 now.
Raskas. Sorry, I just couldn't think for a second. Bit of a tank slapper at Raskas. Moving on to lap 11 now. Coming through Portier. We lose the back end slightly. We touch the wall and we ruin a flawless 2 races.
Should be okay to continue. It'll cost us a little bit of time, but we're nearly at the end of the race.
Would have been qualifying the race and the second race with no damage, but unfortunately we've picked up some damage, and that's going to not help our chances of staying in P5 here as Sete cameras all over the back of us. But nonetheless, trying our absolute best here. Moving on to lap 14 into Raskas now. Nicely through. A little bit twitchy on the exit. And is that Sergio Sete Camera pitting?
Final lap of the race.
I think Sergio Sete Camera just pitted. I don't know if he had damage or not.
We're leading our teammate by 6.3
He must have had
seconds.
damage. It's a penultimate lap, and now moving on to the final lap. We're just gonna cruise around. We got no worries now, almost. Interesting. Nicely round lows. Coming into Portier and a little bit offline. Well, I say a little bit, a lot offline. We lost the back end, but we held it just about with no pressure from behind. We could take as long as we wanted. Coming round the final corner to have a 3rd place and a 5th place with a fastest lap in the weekend. And nonetheless, a fantastic weekend.
All right, race over. Take care of the car on the way in.
What a good weekend to help us win our charge towards
So then, it's time to see how this result
some
affects
serious
the
points.
drivers'
And
camp.
sorry if you can
It's
hear
a
my
good result
phone
for Lando
going off
Norris,
in
who
the
extends his
background.
advantage at the top of the championship. And so, driver of the day then, Davide Valsecchi, who do you think you'd go for?
I'm going to say Jack Aitken. It was probably one of his best drivers of the season, and I was impressed.
And here's how things are shaping up in the team's championship. Carlin have extended their lead at the top of the standings. After all this drama, you'd be mad not to join us for the next race.
We do hope to see you there. Thank you guys very much for watching episode 4. Next one will be in France. Thank you guys so much for watching. I've been Excavation. Subscribe, like, and comment.